Baba tells us a secret, and by knowing that secret, we always remain cheerful. And that secret is that this is a predestined drama, and everybody's part, every second, is fixed, prefixed in this drama, and everybody is just playing their part. And when we understand this, we are constantly cheerful. Now the question is, do I understand it? Do I understand that this is a prefix drama and everyone is just playing their part? And you see that when does the problem arise? So you see, I, the soul, see everything through the eyes. And when I see somebody playing their part, or I see some scene in the drama, then I interpret it. And when I say it's a good scene, it's a good behavior, then I feel happy. And when I interpret it as bad, wrong, this is a scene of loss, then I lose my cheerfulness. Yes, so how you interpret every scene and how you interpret every part that an actor is playing, that is what makes you cheerful or makes you lose your happiness. Now, when you know that whatever anybody is doing, it's just their part in drama. It is neither good nor bad, it is what it is. So when you start interpreting it in such a neutral way that it is neither good nor bad, it is just their part and they are playing it, then you don't lose your cheerfulness over it. So have you started interpreting it like that? Yes, you see a terrorist who is killing so many people. Do you understand it's their part? Yes, it's their part. Do you understand that if a saint is doing good work, it's their part? So there is nothing great or bad about anything. It's just that everybody is doing what they are predestined to do, and they will do it anyway. If you lose your happiness over it also, they will still do the same thing. So why do you lose your happiness over it? Yes, and sometimes you think that you make somebody understand and then they understand it. So you think it's about you, that you made them understand. But do you understand that if it is not in somebody's part to understand something, you can never make them understand. And if it is in their part, then they will understand it anyway. So it is very important to know that everybody is very bounded by their part, and you have to keep playing your part. And if somebody's part has to be aligned with yours, they will start aligning it because it's in their drama, not because you are doing something. I'll tell you one thing. There was one sister and I asked her to write 10 points from the Murli every day. And then what she would do is she would interpret them in her own way and then write it. And then I told her, no, you write verbatim. Whatever Baba is saying, you just write that. I don't want any interpretation. I just want it verbatim. And it's been 20 cycles where every day she submits, and then I tell her, no, this has to be verbatim. This is still not verbatim. Show me, where did Baba say this line that you wrote in the Murli? So she says, no, it's what I interpreted. So I said, no interpretation. I just want it verbatim. So it's been 20 days and she's still doing the same thing. And you know what? It's not about you making somebody understand or they understanding something. It's about a part, and then you have to keep doing your thing. If you are in that place where you have to train somebody, teach somebody, then you keep doing that. But don't think about it. Don't lose your cheerfulness over it. And when you don't know a secret, then you lose your cheerfulness over it, because you start asking why. Yes, and the simple why, the answer to why is because that's their part in drama. At least of now. I'm not saying that they will never learn, or no, that's their part in drama right now. So you don't have to ask why. You keep playing your part and you keep seeing everybody's part with detachment, as a detached observer. And if you don't learn this skill, then what happens is your part gets messed up by looking at other people's part. Because you see, when you lose your cheerfulness by seeing somebody else's part or seeing some scene in the drama, then that's a big loss for you. Yes, so Baba says, don't do that. So hold this secret in your awareness that everybody is playing their prefixed part. What makes sense to you at this moment might not make sense to somebody in this present moment. And it is okay. You keep playing your part and keep giving good wishes, and whenever their part will emerge, they will do that thing. So this is very important to understand, and Baba is always showing us the path to peace, happiness, love, power, purity. And this is also one of the foundations of what Baba teaches, that and this one dharana, this one thing, if you keep in your awareness, then it will make you not lose your happiness. Yes. And then Baba says something very interesting today, and I don't know, I have heard it earlier in the Murli, but I never thought about it. So today Baba says that I am not defaming anybody. I am just telling you what is what and who is who. And I will share one experience. So there is somebody who messaged me some days back, and they said that I don't like Baba's Murli because Baba says that you will end up being a maid or a chandal if you don't do purusharth, or Baba says you are all patit right now, and I don't like these words. God should always bless. God should say you're only nice, good, and everything nice will happen to you. So I didn't. I thought, how. I just thought, that this is such a wrong interpretation. But but you see, today I understood that Baba says that when Baba tells us who is who and what is what, then sometimes people take it in a very insulting way. And why do people do that? Because that's the sanskar. Yes. So have you heard that these days when you call black black, then that's an insult. You call a dog dog, that's an insult. So you can take offense at anything. But the interesting thing is, you see, who is who and what is what is a fact, and you have to acknowledge it. If you don't acknowledge the fact, if you keep running away from the fact, then you're living in denial. And denial never helped anybody. So Baba is telling us now. I was just thinking today, see, you go to a doctor. So what will the doctor first tell you? The doctor will first tell you how unhealthy you are. If they don't tell you that you are sick, you are ill, you are unhealthy, and they don't warn you that if you continue doing like this, then you will fall into greater trouble, then how can the doctor help you? So he has to state the facts that you are not healthy, and then he has to also tell you that if you don't do this, this and this, then it could get worse. And if he doesn't tell you that, and you go to a doctor and he just tells you, you're the healthiest person I've seen, and you have that there's nothing wrong with you, and there is no medicine you need, and you die of a disease, what good is the doctor? Yes, so the doctor has to tell you that you're not healthy. So Baba tells us that you are in Nark, you are in Kalyug, and that is something we have to acknowledge, that yes, I have come to a place where I am not okay and everything is not okay. And then Baba tells you that if you want to be in a place where you're okay and everything is okay, then you do this, this and this. You remember me, you consider yourself to be a soul, you practice purity, you do seva. So Baba has to tell us all of that. Now if somebody says, why does Baba say this is hell? Why doesn't Baba say this is heaven? Or why does Baba say you are patit? Why doesn't he say you're pure? So you are patit. So what would Baba say? So you see, we live in a world where, in the name of appreciation, we have started living in denial. Yes, so appreciation doesn't mean that you deny the facts. So just for the sake of praising somebody, you cannot fool them by telling them that which is not true. So, and you see, it is the truth that will set you free. It is not false appreciation that will set you free. But the important thing is, you see, that there is in this world, you see, you need discernment about everything. So I remember there was this one friend of mine, and her mother-in-law, she would always, taunt and comment and say, ye to bimar hai, ye to bimar hai. She's always, sick. So that is not what Baba encourages. So Baba doesn't say you are impure with judgment. Baba doesn't say you are impure and that it's bad and you are untouchable or something. Baba says you are impure and you have to realize that and work towards purity. So there are two things about this thing that Baba says, I am not defaming anybody, because you see, in defamation there are two things. One is you speak something which is not true, but second thing is you speak it with the intention to malign somebody's image. So Baba says what I am doing is not defamation, because I am not speaking it with the intention to malign your self-image or to put you into less self-respect. I am teaching you, I am telling you the truth so that you realize it and you work towards your perfect self or better self. So this is what Baba says, and Baba says, and Baba gives a very good example. Baba says, I am the Supreme, I am the Almighty. And when I say that, there are some people who say I am arrogant. But then what would Baba say? I'm not Almighty, I'm not Supreme. Because that's the fact. So Baba says, I have to tell you the facts. So if facts hurt you, then it means that you have a sanskar of taking hurt and you have to deal with it. Yes, so for example, you see, when Baba, so you see in the world there is this very interesting thing that people say truth is bitter and truth hurts. But the fact is that truth is not bitter. Your sanskar is to feel bitter, to feel hurt, and that's why when truth is spoken, you feel like that. And yes, truth can be spoken with kindness and bitterness. So it could be that also. But in case of Baba, Baba never speaks the truth without kindness. So Baba is always speaking the truth with kindness. But if it is hurting me, then I have to check what is that sanskar in me which is causing this, this feeling of hurt or insult when I listen to the truth. And I have to deal with that sanskar. And this is why, the murli is also called the hydrochloric acid, because it will burn where there is impurity in the soul. And whatever is the impurity, that impurity will react with the truth and you will not like it. So you see, if you have a sanskar of fear, I remember there was this one Mata, and she did the course, and until the course everything was okay. And then when she started listening to the Murli, 5 days she came for the Murli and then she didn't come. So I called her and I asked her, why didn't you come? You discontinued. So she said, what will I come to listen? Sit, meditate, and then everybody will die, you will die, everybody is going to die, there's going to be Vinash. I don't like to listen to that. So I said, what is your problem with Vinash? So she said, no, I don't want anybody to die. So I said, but they will die. So how can you live your life in denial? So Baba says, you see, look at the state of the world right now. Yes, and if you look at the state of the 5 elements, they are all behaving so erratically. And you see, look at the vices in the world, it's at its peak. And look at how many people are preparing to destroy the world. And do you think that destruction is very far away? So why do you want to live in denial? Just because you're afraid to face it. So Baba says that if you have this sanskar of fear, you will not like that. You will not like the truth that Vinash is at your doorstep. Yes, and in the Murli, Baba always says that, whatever you are earning, you think your grandchildren will eat it and your children will, enjoy it, but nobody will be there left to enjoy it. So then, there are people who have attachments and they don't like it. because you always want to live in this bubble where everything will be good and rosy and nice. But Baba says the fact is you are at the end of Kali Yuga and things are going to be the way I'm telling you in the Murli. And if you're running away from it, then what you're doing to yourself is you are not accepting the truth and preparing for it, but just denying it and making your Antamate Sogati. Yes, you're compromising on your Antamate Sogati. So Baba tells us that I am not defaming anybody, I am not insulting anybody. I am just telling you who is who, what is what. And Baba says, even if you have a lot of bhavana for deities, deities are not God, they cannot give you salvation. And when I say that, you don't have to, take it to heart, because I am here, I am giving you salvation, and I am telling you that you remember me, you will get salvation. So these are the things that Baba tells us, and it is very interesting because I only thought of it today because that message had come. So it clicked to me that yes, this thing that Baba clarifies, that I am not insulting anybody, I am not defaming anybody, is very true, because many people take it like that. Yes. And so this is something. And then Baba today tells us that there is this word too much in the Murli, and Baba says there are some people who are too much into their business, and too much of anything is bad. So too much is not a good word. Yes. And Dadi used to always say, never use the word busy. Yes. So busy, too much, I don't have time. These are not words that Brahmins speak. Yes. So we always have time for what we need to do, and we never have time for what we don't need to do. That is the law of a Brahmin. So a Brahmin is somebody who can always make time for what needs to be done. And if a Brahmin says, I don't have time to listen to the Murli, I don't have time to listen to, I don't have time to sit and meditate, that's not Brahmin like. That's very body conscious. So Baba says that you need to have this state of mind where you're free. You are so free for Baba that you can draw love and light from him. And you have to be in this state where you are never too busy for Baba. And Baba says that there are children who say that I have so much of business that I can't pay attention to Murli and Yog, and that is very body conscious. Because you see that at every phase of life, your priorities need to change. Do you understand that your priorities and your time and the time that you're in, they have a connection? And you see, in the world they say that there is brahmacharya, there is grihasth, there is vanprasth, and then there is sannyas. Yes, so until 25 years of age, there is brahmacharya. And at that time, you don't have to look at any attractions, but this is the world's analogy, right? There is a spiritual analogy counterpart of it that I'll explain. So they say until 25 years, you practice brahmacharya, then 25 to 50, you go into grihasth, and these days it has changed because now it is 1 to 20 and then 20 to 40. Yes, then 40 to 60, and 60 onwards there is vanprasth. Yes, so these days they say 60 is the age of retirement. And then when you retire, then what do? So in the world it is said that when you are in your vanprasth, then you just watch everything, don't involve yourself in it. Yes, so be a detached observer and go into silence. And then it is said after 80, leave your home and go to an ashram and stay. So that's the practice of the world. But Baba says that you are a soul and it's not your physical age which you have to pay attention to. It's your spiritual age that you have to pay attention to. And according to the spiritual age, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, whatever physical age you are in, what are you in actually? You are in your vanprasth. Yes, everybody is in their old age right now. Yes, you may be physically in the body of a small child, but then as a soul you are in your vanprasth. And in your vanprasth, what is your priority? Your priority is not business, not relationships. Your priority is to remember Baba and prepare to go back. You have to prepare to go back to the soul world. So do you get this calculation that you are in your vanprasth right now and you have to go back, you have to leave everything, and now it's time to go back. So you have to pay attention to taking out time. And you see, Baba also gives a very beautiful analogy that people, when they do that mala, so they rotate that mala. So what they do is they sit in a closed space which is very silent, and then they keep doing that. And it is said kotri, you do that, you chant your mantra and you do your mala in a kotri, in a closed space which is very silent. So Baba says, this is your vanprasth, and what you have to do is, you have to go into your cave of introversion. So when you unplug your attention from everything outside and you go within, then inside there is a cave of silence. Yes, inside there is a cave of silence. And in that cave of silence, when you go into ekant, which means you unplug your attention from the world of sound and go to this place which is peaceful and silent, there you sit and you remember Baba. And Baba says that you have to do this for yourself. Just like in Bhakti, it is said that when you are in vanprasth, you have to pay attention to the practices of vanprasth. So every soul right now is in vanprasth. So you have to do this practice for yourself. And anybody who says, I don't have time for this, I'm too busy, that is very body conscious. And only those who are soul conscious, those who pay attention to Baba's Srimad, they are going to go across. So this is why pay attention. So Baba says this. And then Baba also says that you cannot remember Baba without being soul conscious. Because you see, the whole world remembers Baba. Who doesn't remember God? Everybody is remembering God all the time. But why are their sins not burning? Because they are remembering God in a body conscious state. So when you think about Baba and you think you are a body, and then with body conscious desires, body conscious state, you are remembering Baba, that doesn't translate into remembrance. It is called prayer and begging. Yes, and that is what the whole world is doing, because in a body conscious state, you are concerned about physical achievements, attainments, and you're concerned about physical health, relationships, and what you're doing is you're just begging to Baba, give me this, give me that, give me the other. So, but Baba says, when you detach yourself and you understand that now it is your vanprasth, and anyways you have to leave everything. Yes, so you see, how does one practice detachment at the age of 60? Because they understand that anyways I'm going to die. Yes, so let me remember God before I die. So that is the logic of remembering God when you are in your vanprasth. So Baba says, now as a soul, you have this knowledge that we are all going to go home, and whatever we are attached to right now, the body, the relationships, the acquisitions, they are all not going to go with me. So with this sense of knowledge, by imbibing this knowledge, you unplug your attention from everything around you, come to the awareness that I'm just a soul. When I came naked, I'll go naked. I don't go with the body. I'm just a soul. And then when you come to this awareness that I'm just a soul, then who is your world? Baba. So when you are soul conscious, you are not remembering Baba because you want something. You are remembering Baba because Baba is your everything. And that's the difference between remembrance and prayer. So prayer is when you're praying to God to get something of this world, and remembrance is when you know you are a soul and Baba is your everything, and you're remembering because Baba, because He is your everything, not because you want something. So Baba says that you need to switch into this state of soul consciousness, and it is a practice because there is this tendency always to be in body consciousness and keep remembering the external world. So you need to let go of all the thoughts of the old world. Come to this awareness that I'm just a soul. I came empty handed, I'll go empty handed. Yes, I'll just take my sanskars with me. And I'm just a soul, and all my relationships are with Baba. Everything, my world is Baba, my everything is Baba, my everyone is Baba. So when you remember that, then you remember Baba, and then Baba absolves you of your sins. So Baba says the first practice is not remembering Baba. The first practice is letting go of the old world, because you know everything is going to be destroyed anyway. And then switching in, and then remembering Baba. Okay, Om Shanti.